As the weather starts to get colder, energy companies are warning customers against scammers.
First News Weekend morning anchor Connor Kick is live in studio this morning, sharing what one company is seeing here in the Valley. Connor.
Well, scammers are very savvy people, guys. They're going to try anything that they possibly can to get you out of your hard-earned money, and this is the perfect opportunity for them to do that right around the holidays. FirstEnergy said that this is the perfect time because scammers will use this opportunity to invoke fear into customers by turning their power, water, or gas off.
They're typically demanding immediate payment and threatening an imminent shutoff. So they're really trying to evoke fear in these customers to get them to take action. And sadly, a lot of these times, it's our senior citizens or our small business owners who rely on their power.
And here's how the scam usually goes down. You'll get a call from someone claiming to be with an energy company saying that your bills are overdue. They'll ask you to wire or send money immediately to avoid that shutoff. Then you'll never see that money or hear from that scammer ever again. And this is something that we see far too often. So coming up in our next half hour, I'll tell you about how you can avoid being scammed and who these scammers are specifically targeting. Live in the studio, Connor Kick, First News This Morning.
Right now at 6:35, new this morning, energy companies are warning customers in the Valley, be on the lookout for phony calls of scammers who claim to be employees.
They're threatening to cut off your power if you don't fork over money immediately. First News Weekend morning anchor Connor Kick found out, though, that is far from the actual case. Connor.
Well, guys, I spoke to some representatives from FirstEnergy yesterday, and they told me that in order to have your actual power or utility shut off, that could be quite a lengthy process. Now, in order for them to actually be turned off, companies like FirstEnergy will notify you by mail and by phone calls multiple times before actually doing it. The process can take a few months too. The employees will also offer payment plans and different options and not threats like these scammers are doing. Now, up to date, over 1,600 reports have been made of these scammers working to steal the money. Now, some are even using the holidays as a tool because how important they are to people.
Really rely on their electricity around this time of year. So when a scammer can convince somebody that they need their payment made as soon as possible, then it can really evoke that fear in those customers to take action and just assume that everything will work itself out in the end.
And here's some of those red flags that you should be keeping an eye out for. Any type of debt collector will have some type of official ID on them and will offer an opportunity for customers to pay their balance in person before shutting off their power. Some scammers use software, a caller ID software to be exact, to make it seem like that they're calling from the company itself. And if you suspect that you've been called, hang up and contact your energy company and notify the police immediately. Out of those 1,600 calls they've seen, most of them have been to senior citizens or people that don't actually owe money to the company. Just remember, if you have any questions about your bill, to contact your company that you get your electricity from directly. Live in the studio, Connor Kick, First News This Morning.